What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's been a hot minute since I've done an unboxing. I've done enough videos explaining why. If you want to know, if you haven't seen those and you want to know why, go back and check the last couple of shorts and the last long form video for a more in-depth, I think, into it. So if you're interested in why I haven't been doing unboxings, check those out. If you're not interested, stay tuned. Let's check this one out. So, even though when I talked about my Neca collection, I got a lot of great comments, but I had one that basically seemed to be calling me stupid for collecting Neca. And I could see through the years and the history of the company why you may have that opinion. And you are entitled to that opinion. And I am entitled to enjoy my Neca figures. So, good on you. I hope you comment on this one too. Today, though, let's check this figure out. I somehow missed that they were even doing this figure. I know they've done a 2-pack with this figure before. And I think they've done the 8-inch cloth version, which I don't really collect those. But they are very cool. I more collect the ultimate stuff. So today I'm talking about none other than Pamela Vorhees from the original Friday the 13th. Played by none other than Betsy Palmer. This figure, I saw it at Target. Matter of fact, it's where I found this one, and I was like, whoa, okay. I've got like 3 or 4 versions of Jason. I know they've done Jason from almost every film. I haven't seen the necessity to get all of those, but I'm not saying it won't ever happen. But this is going to be his mother, Pamela Voorhees. Here's the inside. Got a great shot of the figure there. There's the window. Same packaging we're accustomed to. We've got quite a few accessories. Pretty stoked about that. This cover art is phenomenal. I've always loved this poster for Friday the 13th. And I don't, you can't really see right now. I don't have horror movie ones on this side, but the other side of my room I do have horror movie posters up on the wall. But I don't have this one. So eventually, when I have a different room where I have full length walls, these go up to about 5 feet, and then they slant up. This is the room above my garage. Anyway, rambling. I gotta stop rambling. Let's. Here's the back. Several different fantastic ways to pose this figure. Right here, just like the movie poster, like that they've used for the front of the cover. Oh my, it's had some little bit of damage there, but that's fine. They were warned, they are doomed, and on Friday the 13th, nothing will save them. There's the side, top you've already seen. So, yep. Let's go ahead and get into this one. Unfortunately, I left the safety cutter downstairs, and instead of going to get it, I said, let me just get my snips. I think I can make it work. And so that's where I'm at. Jeez. Maybe I should have peeled the damn sticker. There we go. Okay. Set those to the side. Since we are just like 4 days away from Halloween, I figure it's a good time to knock out some horror figures. So, and I know if you watched the preview, you saw kind of what's coming. And it is all 4 of those Neca figures. That's what I'm going to be doing this week. Set that down there. And I'm going to start with this one. And I know the thought process really was I was thinking I should start with the Art the Clown figures. That's right, I said figures because I have both variants. But I'm going to save those. And that's how we're going to finish out this week. Really? Man, oh man. Oh, I got a hold of it. Have I ever told you guys how much I love being able to, needing to snip these things to get my figures out? Yeah. Just love it. All right. Let's see if we can get Pamela Vorhees out. That came out rather easy. We got the blue sweater. The face sculpt is pretty nice. She's got the knife sheath. The knife is in here, so we're going to get that stuff out. There's a look. Let's see. You saw I wasn't posing or nothing. I just was messing around. Nice. Stood right up. Let's see. Damn, Neca in your joints. This is part of the reason people hate on Neca. You got to be real careful. They are definitely fragile. Okay, the knee joints feel really nice. So when it comes to a Neca figure, it's pretty much pose it the way you want it, and that's the way you need to leave it. And that's definitely, I could see that being a turnoff for some folks, but the figures themselves look amazing. And if I was paying a Super 7 or even a Mezco price tag for these, I would expect my joints to not be fragile and stuff like that. The $30 to $35 price range, I kind of still don't want that because I can get Hasbro and Mattel figures that don't have those issues. So let's see. All right, there's the knife. When we put that to the side, we got the bow, which has an actual string on it. Okay, there's an arrow. Okay, so we have 3 arrows that basically, these are like target practice tips. And then this one would be considered a hunting tip. I don't know if that really shows up on the screen. As cool of an accessory as this is, I don't like these kinds of accessories because those are going to be fragile. That's going to be fragile. It's easy to lose, easy to break, but still very cool, and it makes sense why that's included. Now we have this broken oar or boat paddle. Very cool. And then we have these two. Really? Oh, it had a piece of tape on it. My bad. We have a machete. Classic. And the axe. Now, when it comes time to put my Pamela Voorhees figure up on the shelf, let me know in the comments down below. Take a guess. Which weapon do you think I'm going to put in her hand? Because I'm putting one in her hand. Is it going to be the axe, the broken paddle, the machete, or the bow and arrow? Let me know in the comments down below what you think I'm going to do and what you think I should do. And I'll respond to each of your comments and tell you if you're right or if you're wrong, and we'll have some fun. All right, so I'm going to leave the hands in for right now. We got some head sculpts that are pretty good. Like classic scenes right from the movie. If those aren't coming up good, I'll put better shots of those up. But all the head sculpts for this are fantastic. Now let's see. Oh, you are going to make me change the hands to hold a weapon. These, you know, I'm sitting here trying to say good things about Neca, and they do shit like that. How rude. Okay. I want it in this hand, so Let's try that one. Oh, no, no, no. It's definitely not this. I think this is made to hold an arrow. But here's the funny part. It's not going to hold this one with the hunting tip. It's going to, this one will go through there. Yeah, see that right there is exactly what, that is very tight. And you will easily break this arrow trying to get it in there. That's what that hand is for. So let's try this one. I need one that will hold a weapon. That's better. Mm-hmm. Now, one thing I've never really had trouble out of is Neca's hands breaking. I've broke some accessories. And I will say it upsets me when that happens. Okay. Beautiful. Okay. All right. So I do want to see how difficult it is to change the head. So some of these NECA figures, the head has just been a quick pop and happy days. Some I have fought with and needed heat. Jesus. Okay, so this is going to be one of those that doesn't want to pop off. Oh, there we go. Shoo. Okay, so I like this. When it comes to swapping heads, the putting articulation into the peg where it goes back and forth and stuff makes a head swap extremely difficult. This is, I think, what I want. Is it? That's pretty good. Man, she just looks flat evil in all of them. Even that one. Yay. No. Let's go with that one. I like to hear a pop when I do that. Okay, I put some pressure on it, didn't come off. I like to hear it go, so I know the head's in there. Okay. What are the other right hands? Oh, or is that the left? Damn. Because I don't like that hand. I rarely have that's a like this. It's very small, so it's hard for you to see. I rarely would use an open palm hand like that. I just don't like them. Oh, son of a witch. That's not correct either. So you're telling me that I have 1, 2, 3, 4 left hands and only 2 right hands. Why do I not have 3 of each? What? I like that hand though, and I can't use that hand. I'm aggravated now. That's just rude. So I'll use this hand though. I think I like it better. I just don't like open palm hands like that. There's no movement to that. There's no action to that. Yeah. And with that one, I could have her kind of holding the axe in two spots if I wanted to. Okay, let's do it like that. Let's see, check out one of the poses from the back. Okay. Well, I didn't put the screaming face on her, but let's try that. Let's see if I can. I'll get her to hold it correctly then. How's that? We'll say it that way. So one thing I'll say about NECA is they're in that realm of really, I would just say barely articulated. I'm a moron, by the way. There was a way easier way to do that than the way I did. See, just like that. Oh, that's much. Oh, I like that. Oh yeah, bam. Okay, so I like all the head sculpts. I don't like the fact that I have 6 total hands, and 4 of them are all for the left hand. Let's see if I can make sense out of that. I'll look at the way they've posed her on the. Okay, maybe no. Okay, so this one is a specific left hand for pulling back the bow and arrow. And then, I mean, that's the only thing use I can see for this hand because the only thing that fits in that is the arrow. But it doesn't show that. No, the boat paddle's not that skinny. So, I mean, that is surely for just an arrow. This is for pulling back the bow. And then we have these 2 hands. So, unless you just want her in a pose where she's stabbing with the arrow, which it has been a long time since I've seen this movie. I don't remember if she actually stabbed somebody with the arrow. I'd like to think that they wouldn't include something like that. If she didn't, but I do enjoy the fact that this one is made to actually. I don't know if I can make it happen, but okay, I see. I got you. So it's like that. In the it goes on kind of on the fletching of the arrow and then the string together. So, well, there. So that's meant to grip that, and then the arrow, which remember how I said about losing them? There it is. Okay. So that is nice. I like the fact they included that because it is a very cool accessory, like I said, but it's not one that I care greatly for. The boat paddle is cool. I know she used that. How can you have Friday the 13th without the machete? Good old faithful. Now, let's talk about Pamela Voorhees for a second. So, when it comes to articulation, we're talking NECA, so we don't have anything that's double jointed. We have very little movement in the feet. The joints are fairly stiff in the elbows. The knees aren't too bad. Head swap wasn't terrible. Hand swap was fine. The knife went right in the sheath on there. She's been pretty easy to keep standing, so I like that. All in all, I think it's a great figure. I really like it. I love the fact that we've got 4 great head sculpts. So we rarely with the Friday 13th figures, because they've always been Jason, do we have faces where we can do different expressions. And she needs those expressions. So I love the fact that that's there. But let's do a little comparison. Get somebody over here. She might know. have have her son join her. What do we think? So this is one of the Jason figures that I have. This is I can't remember which one it is. Maybe three or I think it's three. I think this one's part three. And then the other one, I also have part two when he had the sack on his head. Um, so, and I have Freddy versus Jason. I know I have those for sure. Can he hold this machete? Let's go ahead, because I don't know what I've done with his machete. It's probably up there on the shelf somewhere, but there we go. Now, oh, family reunion. So, he is quite a bit taller than her. Spot on, exactly as it should be. Um, so we really got. I mean, I, I don't think they've done a Jason from Jason Goes to Hell. I don't know. I don't believe NECA has done a Jason X, so we're missing those two. I know they've done two, three, four, and six for sure. I'm sure they've done five. So I don't know about. I don't think they've done Jason Takes Manhattan yet. Which is that seven or eight? Good gravy. I do think they've done the remake Jason. I don't have that, but anyways, this one is probably my favorite. That's why I chose to bring him out. Although the Freddy versus Jason one is awesome. I really like that one. I actually have that one tattooed on my leg. Not the figure, but Jason from the movie. Anyway, moving on. um, yeah, what a great family reunion. So I am a big fan of the Friday the 13th franchise. I said all that about the different Jason figures to make this point. So we've gone that far into the series. And the whole, because that's what everybody thinks. When you say Friday the 13th, first thing in your mind is hockey mask, machete, Jason Voorhees. You know, they abused that trope in the Scream movie with, who was the killer from Friday the 13th. Trick question, because everybody, unless you're a huge horror buff, immediately goes, Jason Voorhees, of course, duh. How can you be so stupid? Of course it's not. Friday the 13th, the original first movie, Jason was not really in it until the very end. So this is your first original killer. Um, this is so this is the answer. So you don't get Drew Barrymore'd if you get a phone call. It's Pamela Voorhees. Don't say Jason. If they say Friday 13th part anything else, it's Jason. So don't get Drew Barrymore. Okay. Casey Becker. That was her name. Ooh, some trivia. Anyways, I'm so happy to be back unboxing. I've talked a lot about what went on. Like I said, I'm not going to get into it, but it feels great to be back in front of the camera and getting an action figure out and messing with it. Um, so I'm definitely hyped up to get some more done, get some more content going. Yeah, I needed this and this. So as far as the figures I've got coming for this week, this was probably the least exciting, just by looking at it. But after handling it and really thinking about what I've got here, it's a lot more exciting than I gave it credit. I really like this figure. The hands, the left hands, have the ring. She's got a ring on. Um, and like I said, even though the bow and arrow accessory is not my favorite, I do. I like the fact they included hands specifically to make it work, to be able to hold an arrow. I love the facial expressions. fantastic figure. I cannot find a complaint, other than the typical NECA complaints. The joints are very stiff. However, I was able to pose her like this with no problem. Uh, like I said, when it comes to NECA, if you saw the video, which has been my best video I've ever put on this channel, performed outperformed anything I've ever done on YouTube, I think, as far as long form videos go. So I again, I've said it before, but thank you guys so much for that. Anyways, in that video, you will see, if you haven't watched it, go check it out. I'm really proud of it. I'm really proud of my NECA collection. I have got a lot. I didn't count them. I would say my NECA collection is somewhere in the area of between 75 and 100 figures. Most of those are unboxed. So I have learned through the years what NECA figures can and can't do. I've never, knock on wood, never actually broken any of my figures. I have, like I said, broken a couple of accessories. The bat that came with Griff from Back to the Future Part 2, I broke the end of his bat. That was very difficult to make him hold, and it was very thin. Not quite that thin, but very thin. The other thing I broke was the I think it's the flamethrower piece to I can never remember his name, but Kurt Russell's character from The Thing. His flamethrower attachment, the tip of that, I broke that off. And I don't really remember how I broke that off. But the funny thing about the piece on Griff's bat, guys, I don't know how I'm ever going to get away from not turning a video into me rambling for a little bit. So, I apologize. But the bat piece, when it broke off, I was sitting, you can't see it, but I have a chair right over there. It's buried in toys right now, so that's beside the point. But I was sitting in that, and I was playing with that figure because it was before I started doing videos, and I was like, I want him to hold this bat. This bat is so cool. It's that, extending baseball bat. If you know Back to the Future 2, you know what I'm talking about. So I wanted him to hold it, and the hands were very stiff. The bat is made of NECA's plastic that they have not really steered away from, but I think they have started to. But it snapped and the piece went pew! And I was like, I looked everywhere, I couldn't find it. So fast forward, year later, year and a half, maybe even 2 years later, I'm like, I bet I'll find it now because I have to pack this whole room up. I've talked about that before. This whole room, which I haven't really given y'all a full extensive tour, but I had to pack everything up because we had our floors redone in the entire house. So I had to pack everything up in totes. And I thought, surely I'll find that piece and I can fix his freaking bat. Well, I did all that work, had everything out of here, and never found it. And I was like, well, isn't that just freaking great? Was it that big of a deal because he can still hold it, and you, unless you know it was supposed to have an extra piece on the end, you wouldn't know it, but I know, and it bothered me. So fast forward just a little bit this time. The floors were done. Now I have to put my room back together. Whew. If you guys are big collectors like this and you've ever had to pack your stuff, it's fun because you get to, now you have an excuse to reset everything and rearrange and but at the same time it is a daunting task. But I moved all my shelves in, and after moving all my shelves out into the hall, then having to move them into a different room and then moving them back in, as I brought them back in, that damn piece rolled out of one of the shelves. I'm like, wow. So, Anyways, I'll shut up now. I know I rambled. I can't just let it ride and just go, look the figure and let's go. I'm a rambler, but sometimes I need to do that. Anyways, Pamela Vorhees, awesome figure. Vorhees family reunion right here on Gladiator Toys. How awesome is that? But that's it for this one. So proud of you, son. Anyways, that's it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching and putting up with my rambling and goofiness. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit that like button and make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Turn on those notification bells. I promise not every video I ramble for 5-10 minutes. Some of them I do, and that's just is what it is. I can't fix it. That's my brain. But not all of them. But I try to make them all enjoyable. So subscribe, turn on those notification bells. And who knows, maybe next Friday the 13th, we'll have another Vorhees family reunion. That being said, make sure you check out my other channel, Gladiator Wrestling Podcast, right here on YouTube. If you're into wrestling and wrestling figures, that is the place to be. Come check it out. We are about to make a big drive to grow that channel tremendously. And hopefully that helps this channel grow as well. I'm growing really great as it is, and I really appreciate all that. Also, check out the other half of Gladiator Wrestling Podcast, The Chase Collector, right here on YouTube. And all three of those YouTube channels, including this one, we're on TikTok as well. So come check us out over there. And that's it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Pamela, Jason, and Gladiator out.